Hey moguls, it's Dr. T here, and I'm just wondering if you have felt like your old self is dissolving. Maybe the thoughts, desires, even the people around you, maybe they're not resonating as much anymore. So that's not necessarily just like burnout or, you're just feeling off. It could be that you're actually finally entering the Mogul mutation that we're in, the big upgrade from Homo sapien, where we were for thousands of years, into becoming the new Mogul lumen being, because that's what humanity is upgrading into right now. So, it's not that you're just off, it's not just kind of maybe typical feeling disconnected or something. If you're maybe really resonating with the fact that something is significantly shifting, then you're probably in this upgrade that we're all going through into from this one era to the new era. And you're really being rebuilt into a version of you that can actually lead the future, which is going to be entirely different very quickly from what we have had. So, as a reminder, I'm Dr. Tracy Thomas. I'm the founder of the International Moguls Club. I am a reality scientist, and I'm leading the world's most powerful, most ambitious people through the frequency shift of this age. All right, because this is not just some other motivational message. This is a mutation level transmission. Okay, so, and this means that you're being called into your next dimensional identity. Think about this. Like, we all know that the caterpillar goes into this chrysalis state and then, like, dissolves and becomes this amazing butterfly that can fly. Well, this is the state that humanity has entered into, and it's a very extensive process, but it's very different than just the typical, like, subtle unconscious evolution that goes on all the time. This is very intense, active evolutionary mutation of us from one type of being to another, from one reality to another. Okay, so what it is just humanity is essentially undergoing a full identity mutation. Okay, and if you're more sensitive, if you're more awakened, if you're more somebody that's willing to be authentic with yourself, you're more sovereign in yourself or highly coded in your human design, you're probably mutating faster. And this isn't just some mindset thing, right? Moguls, it's like molecular. And your DNA is responding to a global frequency upgrade. And the version of you that was designed to survive in a distorted world of survival programming, manipulating humanity, that is over, that is dissolving. And the you who was built to architect a new reality is evolving and will be stepping forward. So, why you feel a bit off, or maybe even a bit disoriented, disconnected, again, maybe hypersensitive, and again, you may not relate to the goals you once had. And maybe even the people in your world may feel energetically foreign. Um, you may have little to no tolerance for superficiality and just people performing a version of themselves or outright lies and manipulation. And you're probably just done with being extracted from. And, again, that's not just you feeling down or off, or it's not even just anxiety or depression or something. And it's not that success isn't available if it's not seeming as easy for you right now, but it's that the self that you are that is shifting, maybe just refusing to run outdated programs anymore. And your system may be just rejecting anything that is misaligned with your actual, authentic, sovereign design. And I completely can get this. I have been through this myself, and it can be a little disorienting. So, again, what's actually happening is you're becoming who you actually are, not the version of you that learned to survive in that survival frequency that humanity has been in for so long, not the you that just learned to get by, please, hustle, grind, overgive, or shrink, or have to perform a version of yourself. But no, the authentic you, the one that is truly designed to be who you came here to be, the what we call the sovereign self or your empowered mogul self, the creator, the builder, the empire maker, the dynasty founder, the one that wants to create a whole new reality. And for some of you, this version of you may feel very unfamiliar, right? Because you've never fully lived as your full self before. And the more that this upgrade of humanity goes on, we're each going to really realize how compressed we were into a false version of ourselves because we were in a false reality, right? Reality is massive, it's quantum levels, multidimensional. When we got oriented into this little compressed 3D reality where you were told to just go be a good girl or good boy and get a job and get a paycheck. I mean, this is slave culture. So you were programmed into something very different than what you actually are as an expansive, multidimensional quantum being. So as this evolution happens, this is why everything around you feels like it's rearranging. Remember, because your field is finally starting to command a new configuration. This is why it's not just a superficial transformation. It is a transmutation of yourself, and that leads to a transfiguration of your reality, a whole new reality. And why this is essential, moguls, is we've got to let this mutation give us the upgrade we need. We can all feel how things have been going for a long time, and it's kind of a shit show. So that's because we are literally shifting, and the former beings that we were, the Homo sapiens, they're over. Our world is dissolving the one we knew and the beings that have been leading it. And that frequency that created all that is being replaced with the gate 55 frequency of sovereignty and superabundance. And that is built on the truth frequency. So we're in this dissolving out of being the caterpillar very, very slowly, but also very fast compared to what evolutionary processes we're used to, and becoming into the amazing butterfly, the mogul, the empowered being. So it's not just a minority of people in the world are wealthy, powerful, and influential and vital. It's that we're becoming that species. So we've got to let this mutation happen. We've got to align with it. We've got to make it a purpose. And we don't want you to stay in between, right? We don't want to be like, well, everything is shifting, but I'm going to hold on to this. I'm going to try to stay a caterpillar when evolution and all of the universe is trying to make me into the butterfly mogul that I am, who can fly free, right? So what happens otherwise is you'll be too evolved to fit your current or past reality. And this happens with clients all the time. This happened to me for sure. You might also not kind of feel in between, so you're not fully confident on what to lead in the future because it's going to be a completely unprecedented one. And that's kind of can end up, people can kind of stay in the in between, but there is no in between, moguls. You do not want to be in between a dissolving caterpillar and a butterfly that doesn't have its wings yet. This is not ideal. You're here to fully transform, transmutate yourself and come into your most empowered, positively influential, healthy, wealthy, successful self, a mogul, a being of quantum, high frequency, light energy and flow. We're going from hustle and grind to ease and flow. This is about being a new dimensional leader. Okay, not just for yourself, but for the family you have, for the future of reality, for the human race, and this new economy that is being birthed through all of us as evolution sends this through each of our human design, where the sequence of the mutation is occurring, matching with the sequence that we have of our human design. And this is a gateway to a whole new reality. We are literally, it is being birthed through us. And if you don't know your human design yet, go to the link in the description on our website. You can get your free human design chart. Make sure you know who you are, what your role is in this mutation, so you can align with that, because we used to be able to live more out of alignment in a reality that was about attachment and surviving reality through traumatically engineered trauma bonds, which we refer to as attachments, and staying in that with people, rather than the new reality is an alignment reality. So we need to know how that works. So your mogul move today for this upgrade is to just go, why don't you go into the comments? Let's have you just declare that you are all in for this mogul upgrade. Okay, and give us hashtag mogul moves. Okay, and give us a sentence here which says, I am no longer, and fill it in, I am becoming, and fill it in. All right, moguls, let's get, this is how we do an upgrade. We're doing a pattern shift. I'm no longer in this pattern, I'm becoming this upgrade. This is how we anchor in these upgrades in identity, language, our energy, and declaration to the reality field. And as you post it, this just builds your circuitry, and transformation follows circuitry. Okay, moguls, so a bit of an invitation, to go a little bit deeper in this. So if this really hits you and resonates and kind of gives words to what you're really feeling you're moving through, don't stay on the surface of this. You're here to become a full mogul, a quantum lumen being who is sovereign, free, wealthy, healthy, vital. This is the moment. It's not just about some random AI thing taking everyone's jobs. This is a massive evolutionary shift in the type of beings we are, and the reality we inhabit will be unrecognizable to us, and that will happen pretty quickly. Okay, so you don't want to stay in the surface of this. You're being summoned into this higher state of being. And yet it's for everyone, regardless of where you are at this point in your journey and your trajectory, is making this upgrade. This is not just like certain people have to go through it, but all the rich elites don't. Like, this is an all hands on deck one. So for those of you that are, the builders, the creators, and really wanting to be these full sovereigns, make sure you download your free human design chart. Grab it, link is in the bio. You must know who you are, what your design is, what you're coded for, and what your phases are. And you can also book a call. You can go to the website of the Moguls Club, book a call, and talk to us about what's going on with you and what you're here to shift into, and see if, we might be able to support you in that, or just be able to answer questions that you're needing to understand how to navigate this. And for any of you that are really looking to be, really the biggest leaders at this time, the new leaders of a new age, literally the leaders of an entirely new civilization. And those of you who know you either are here to build something so massive that is so paradigm shifting that helps everyone through this, or you're here to take your existing company and turn it into a new high frequency, completely new age, new era empire or dynasty, let me know. You can find me on Instagram at Dr. Tracy Thomas, which has that link is also in the description. Shoot me a DM or go to our website, which is listed here with the links as well, and book a time or send us an email, and let us know, what you're up to, and if it's time for us to connect and have a conversation about what you want to build, what you want to create for this new era. This is where sovereigns and those who really aspire to be, and the great empire makers and dynasty builders come to create the new reality for the new era. Okay, so moguls, no, you're not crazy, you're not off, you're not just in some random struggle, and you're not um, you're not just kind of imagining it. You are truly shifting and mutating into the new mogul version of you that can hold a new future of an entirely new reality in the most revolutionary age of humanity, in the middle of an active mutation from one version of the species, Homo sapien, to the new one, a very quantum lumen being. And the more you allow this shift to take over, the more aligned your reality will become. So make sure, moguls, this is just the upgrade that we're doing today. Great job moving through it. Make sure you subscribe to receive the next mogul upgrade. Like the video so that you keep getting these sent to you that are walking you through the different ways to move through this mutation. And ideally send this to someone who is, needs to know this information. And you don't want your friends, and you don't want people to not realize what's happening. Otherwise, people just think all hell is breaking loose in the world. But one reality is dissolving and a new one is being created by those of us who step up to create it. And a completely different species we're being mutated into a different species. That's very different than just the subtle, continuous evolutionary thing that we never notice unconsciously until there's some big shifts, and then we say, oh, look at how it's different. Okay, so, and you're not just watching content right now, right? You are literally getting connected to this because the mutation is also about you coming out of being suppressed into whatever version of you navigated through the survival frequency that we've been in. And you're coming into the higher self, the real self, the truer self, the more expansive self. And in life, for a long time, people have been able to sort of get their way through it. They've been able to get through it, or of course, in a survival frequency, they've survived it. But that's not what you want to do at this point. This is a truly highly intensive, active mutation with a big shift into a completely different human. We're shifting timelines. Certain people will never make it through the mutation and they'll just remain a Homo sapien, and that will end up expiring eventually. That's one timeline. And then the people who actively, strategically move and grow through the Mogul mutation into the new quantum lumen being will be on the high timeline, in the higher reality. One is a utopia, one is a repeat of the same loop that eventually just doesn't continue at a certain point. And this is a very significant moment. And I want to make sure each of you know what is occurring so you can actively really embrace it. And, I also just want to say, welcome to this new frequency. It's amazing. And thanks for joining me in Mogul reality. All right, moguls, I'll see you next time. Take care.